Hello, everybody. My name is Terminus, and today we're back with Disco Elysium episode 3. It's been quite a while. But I decided tonight is the night we're gonna continue playing Disco Elysium. I've been looking forward to it for the last 2 weeks. It's been 2 long fucking weeks, but we're gonna go in there. I don't even know anymore what we were doing exactly. I mean, I know what we were doing. I just don't know what I wanted to do in the upcoming episode. Either way, I've kind of changed the light a little bit, been doing a little bit of a softer light. If it's too dark for you, do let me know. I'll probably switch it up for next time again, and we'll have the normal light again. But let's jump right into it and make ourselves familiar again with what Disco Elysium has to offer. Let me just... Alright, and here we are with Disco Elysium. Let's get right into it. I'm kind of curious as to how you think the camera is, because last time I actually put the camera in kind of an interesting position. Now I've made it a little bit wider, so my hand motions are actually gonna come in. This is quite a change from the usual reaction stuff, because I'm normally gesturing a lot, and you won't see any, or you will see very little of that. We'll see more of a focus on my face, which is obviously more important when we're playing a game. But yeah, let's just start with this. Let me see. I'll load game, and this is, you can see, like, September 1st is the last time I recorded. It's now September 25th or something. It's been 2 weeks since it came out, but it's been a little bit more than that before that. Let's actually check out the journal, see what's happening here. Find out who is in the Union box. Guard has told you some unruly Union men gather in the mess hall. Alright. Yeah, that's at a later time, right? That's like 1300 or later. We don't have... yeah, we do have 1300 though, so it's possible that we could check that out. We need some booze. I don't want some booze. We're recovering alcoholic, okay? We need to inspect the victim's body, but for that we actually need to maybe get some... whatchamacallit, what Kim said, the smelling salts, kind of to make that happen. We need to pay for the damages. We still have very little money, as far as I know. We have like 0 real. We need to track down our badge. Still don't have that. Yeah, we don't want to ask Kuno about the clothes in the trash. I think we would be hearing something about us being trash. But we could ask Guard and see who actually did it. We wanted to talk to Guard anyway, right? To get the Sylvie thing figured out. Yeah, and we need to keep searching for the caller, because it actually wasn't her. But we're like, this might take some time. This is kind of probably a hint of the game to be like, okay, this is something for later. Sing karaoke, yeah. Get a reality lowdown. You have no idea where you are. Lena encouraged you to ask others to explain the world to you. Yeah. Okay, so we need to kind of just get back into reality, understand where we actually are and what we're doing. We need to read the watermarks. Oh yeah, with the kinema, right? Right, we can do that right now since we're already in front of the carriage. And track down your gun. Yeah, I would say, like, we start out with the watermarks, and then we talk to Guard, and after that we go outside, see what we can do. Maybe we pay attention to the body, or we look around a little bit and see what else is here that we can maybe make some money on, or get some interesting info. But before that, we actually need to go into the inventory, or let's click here, because we do have a level up, as far as I know. And in between, I've kind of contemplated a little bit on what I want to do. Obviously, we have very little physical instrument, right? And we have a lot like hand-eye coordination, even with like motorics, even with the specialty in motorics and hand-eye coordination and whatnot. We need to actually watch out for minus bonuses on some of that stuff that we do have, because I want to be sneaky later on. So we need to kind of make sure that we unequip this piece of clothing here. What piece of clothing is that? Let me see. Which one is giving me -2 on savoir-faire? We have the trousers and the shoes, so we're just too notorious, I guess, in terms of like the trousers and the shoes. Also, I could have sworn that I just heard like a slight audio hiccup. Do let me know if you hear that. That could be problematic. I do hope it isn't. Right. Yeah, but where were we? We were at skills, and for skills, I would say that it's a very cool thing for me to actually go into empathy. I would say that makes perfect sense. Me coming from like a psychologist angle, our character, I've decided, is kind of a genius, right? He has intellect of 5, so he's really high up there, and he can immediately glance things like rhetoric, drama, logic, right? He can do visual calculus to figure out what exactly happened and kind of just get ahead of that. And he's very reactive. He can be very quick to react, but this is his journey for finding his empathy, right? Because before that, he was kind of like a slighted genius in a way, right? He's been down on his luck. He's had depression, drugs, and all kinds of shit going on. And his cases weren't going well, stuff like that, right? And I think it's a very cool idea to kind of go into a character and be like, okay, he did never have like very little empathy, but he was like somewhere in the middle, and he couldn't connect to some people or couldn't figure some things out. And this is like his journey of kind of discovering this part of himself, right? Building up his psyche, kind of, in a way. And since we don't have any physique stuff, and we're not like super drug cop, whatever, hobo cop, I think we're gonna go into like I'm discovering my psychic side, my psychology side, which is also interesting for us, right? As a channel that has a lot to do with psychology, we can kind of tie that in. But I don't want to overfocus, so we're definitely gonna go into empathy first right now, but I'm leaving my options open for the next skill slot that's gonna come. We're gonna maybe go into something else. There's a lot of very interesting and cool things that I want to go into, and I want to actually make sure that some of the clothes we're wearing actually might give us some physical instrument, because that is the one area where we're lacking and where we might have to pick up the slack, right? Because we're not like a middle of the road character. We're like very high in intellect and then middle of the road in some other things. Physique is like just all the way down, which is a shame, but that maybe that opens up for the possibility for another playthrough at some point in time. Maybe not on the channel, but I don't know, streams, whatever, right? But that's years in the future. We're gonna go into empathy. Also, somebody told me to read like the full info of these things. So here's what I'm gonna do. When I'm going into something, I'm gonna read the full thing, or when I'm trying to decide what I actually want to pick. And maybe each episode at the end or at the beginning, we'll see about that, we're gonna read like one full row of them. So for now, I'm actually gonna read empathy. Alright, empathy. Pool 4, judges of character, interviewers, interrogators. Empathy breaks into the soul of others and forces you to feel what's inside. It enables you to notice social cues others may miss. Perhaps a hidden sadness you could coax out a little more, a strange joy from someone who could be bereaved, or a hidden resentment that could return to harm you later. At high levels, empathy really pulls you in other people's shoes. You'll cry for their sorrows, punch walls to relieve their angers, and be an even more unstable cop. With low empathy, however, you'll be an ungainly beast, unable to talk to anyone without upsetting them. I find this is very interesting because it almost feels like we have downsides to our high empathy, right? So if we had an empathy of 10, maybe we would be too empathetic, which means we would be too much swayed by other people's emotions. And obviously, dealing with people who have issues themselves, right? Be that as an investigator or be that as a psychologist, it is very important to have that necessary distance to the people in order to be able to deal with a situation in an unemotional way, right? While remaining, right, while keeping up that empathy and actually feeling for people and understanding where they're coming from, but then taking a step back and actually managing to figure out what would be the best thing that helps them in this case, as opposed to maybe just feeling too much for them and being too much in their position, in their point of view, and then letting your emotions get the better of you. I think emotional reasoning is very important in many ways, in many aspects, because let's be honest, emotions evolved with human beings, right? Emotions evolved with us, and as such, emotions are very functional. They work very well for us for the purposes that they are originally made for, right? Almost like heuristics, right? Kind of getting an estimate of a situation in a way, and understanding how something makes me feel is related to what goals I have in life, what ideals I have, what my worldview is like. And as such, it is very informative for me to actually experience these emotions, even if experiencing them is never easy, right? Be that, right, all the way from absolute joy and happiness, all the way down to deep, dark depression and anger and frustration and whatnot. But it has its uses. The problem is that, like every tool, it can break as well, right? And it can hurt. So we need to pay close attention to actually stay in tune with our emotional side, but at the same time have or realize when we need the necessary distance to actually set ourselves back and be like, okay, let me shove away those emotions for a second and think about this rationally, think about this in a more long-term perspective. But yeah, I'm going into empathy. I think that is a good idea. For an empathy will help us a lot. I do also think we have another level up, right? I don't even. How many points do we have? Like, well, total is 4. That's right. Oh, we might have 2 skill points. That might be the thing, right? And we do already have a lot in intellect, but I think early on in a game, I always like to kind of double dip for some of the more important things. Since we're very bad in suggestion, and we decided that we're actually going to focus on rhetoric to actually get people to kind of reaction speed is cool as well, right? So actually, let's go through this and read the intellect row, right? Let's read the intellect row. Intellect. No, logic, right? Cool for analysts, pure rationalists, obviously logicians, right? Logic urges you to analyze the living daylight out of the case. It enables you to piece evidence together, detect inconsistencies in statements, and impress everyone with your astonishing conclusions. It's the bread and butter of many a detective. At high levels, logic will be able to solve even the most complicated puzzle. You will be very proud and thus susceptible to intellectual flattery. Okay. But those blinded by their own brilliance often miss important clues. With low levels of logic, you're going to have a hard time solving even the simplest puzzle. Even if you find the pieces, good luck putting them together. That actually, like I said, that makes me think that there's actual downsides if we just go full on into one thing, right? If we're gonna go basically savant. Savant, by the way, is often a term that's used in connection with autism and some such. It kind of focuses on stuff like you're very good in one specific area, right? A very narrow field and area. Because the problem with autism spectrum disorder is often that you do have a very much a lack in the social aspects, higher executive function, stuff like that, right? It's not like just not being able, like, it's not lowered intelligence. There's like a veritable difference. It's just that certain specific aspects are very hard for people who are on that spectrum. And there's different theories that like exist in parallel that deal with different partial aspects of that. And one of them is, for example, that autistic people seem to have, at least from observations and studies and whatnot, a tendency to perceive things and process information not in context, right? Like derived off its context. So contextual processing is a little bit harder. And that kind of plays into that whole savant thing, because not everybody who is autistic necessarily has a specific skill they're very good at, but there are people actually within the spectrum disorder that, despite having autism, actually have one thing that they're very good at, isolated oftentimes, and very like specific knowledge, right? Extensive knowledge in one specific thing that also kind of goes into one category with a tendency that people on the autism spectrum disorder also have, which is over focusing on specific narrow sets of interests. So that kind of plays into one another in such cases oftentimes. But yeah, so it feels like if you're going too much into one direction, right, and you ignore all of the other skills that you do have, maybe the problem is that while you're very clever, you might overdo it in many things, right? So it feels to me almost like this game focuses a lot on combining different skill sets in order to reach your desired goal, right? In order to be the best you can be. Encyclopedia. Cool for thinkers, historians, trivia freaks. Encyclopedia makes you a know-it-all, turning your mind into a database of facts. It enables you to draw on these facts innately, offering a wealth of background knowledge to all things related and unrelated to your case. Unrelated, right? Intrusive thoughts coming in. Who knows what the history of a cigarette brand will provide the breakthrough? Who knows when the history of cigarette brands will provide the breakthrough you need to arrest a murderer, or when knowledge of pre-revolutionary guns might save a life. At high levels, Encyclopedia shares this wealth of knowledge to an almost overwhelming degree. While it may give you crucial breakthroughs, it more often will clutter your mind with useless tidbits. With low level of encyclopedia, though, you'll be forced to work with only the clues in front of you without any background knowledge. Copying is going to be a tough stuff. So yeah, sorry about like the little hiccups in reading sometimes, like for long text. It's not all that easy. I'm not that used to it. But either way, yeah, that's very cool, right? Very interesting. Also very relatable for me, right? For anybody who might have like that level of like very much interest in a lot of things, right? And reads a lot of things, and then random facts just keep popping up. We also made that experience already when we started playing the game, where there was like, right, encyclopedia popping up everywhere and being like, oh, this is that, and telling like a half page story tale about what the history of the thing is, and then we're like, okay, that is really cool. Wait, we like spent 20 minutes thinking about concepts and things that exist in the world without ever getting anywhere in terms of our case or knowing who we actually are or talking to people, right? And so we spent like hours with that. Yeah, I can see how that can have downsides. Rhetoric. Cool for ideologues, conversationalists, and would-be politicians. Rhetoric urges you to debate, make intellectual discourse, nitpick, and win. It enables you to break down arguments and hear what people are really saying. You'll spot fallacies as soon as they're used. What exactly did the waiter leave out of their testimony? What was the dancer trying to divert you from? Was that double entendre intended, or did you just get an accidental lead? At high levels, rhetoric will make you an impressive political beast, one whose beliefs are impenetrable, which is to say, one whose mind will not change, one who will clarify, one who will calcify, right? Like calcium. Okay, I get it. With low rhetoric, though, you'll have a hard time of shooting down any argument. Nailing down people in the testimonies will be nigh impossible. Right, we only do half of those, okay? Right, that's enough reading for now. What are we going into, though? Right? I mean, all of these are very cool. They're very interesting, but we're already very good at them for the start of the game. I do wonder if we want to prop up stuff that we haven't had yet, like composure, for example, right? Or if we want to go into these things that we've already read. Maybe, like, if you're interested, leave a couple of suggestions down in the comments below what you would think would be a fitting skill for my character specifically to adopt. Yeah, I do think that, well, actually, I want to go into maybe... We already have one in there, right? Pain threshold, physical instrument. And we also need to think about, like, what would be good for us to kind of just get, to get good checks, right? Yeah, I think I want to be stealthy, and we're already having, like, a downside from the way we dress. So I do wonder if we can maybe find a way to be a little bit better at that. So I'm going into that. So we have 2 in savoir-faire, and if we take off, we have 4. So that's cool. Right. And we're just, like, I think the next thing we choose is going to be intellect, and we're going to read, like, the different intellect stuff next time we're looking at the skill screen. Let's read savoir-faire for now. Cool for acrobats, thieves, unbearable show-offs. Alright, I like that. We're kind of like that a little bit. Savoir-faire urges you to be better than you are. It urges you to be disco. Slip by others in Samaran boxing style, then tumble out the back with unexpected acrobatics. It enables you to move with silent footsteps, to groove to a good beat, and to lift useful evidence of perps without them noticing. It also makes you a cooler cop, whose athletic flair will certainly impress the citizenry. At high level, savoir-faire will make you the king of cool, which is as much to say the most stylish douchebag in Revachol. Nobody will see you until you're ready to be seen, and then they got the full treatment, whether they want it or not. At low levels, however, you'll be a bumbling, feckless cop unable to catch a pair of keys thrown by your partner without losing an eye. Holy shit, this writing, like, oh, fucking hell, this writing is impeccable. But yeah, that sounds like us. Honestly, that sounds like one of, like, the things that our character would be doing, right? The cool dude. A dude who is maybe a little bit too cool for his own good, I would say. Oh, and we have checks that are actually updated because we upgraded empathy, which is really cool. What was that check? Do we have any... Oh, we need a map first, right? Maybe we can look into the, like, the headlights, because I do think there is a map there. If I do remember correctly. With the watermarks, it said something with, like, that there was an information about who we are and about, like, the district and whatnot. So that might be a very interesting thing. Alright, let's do that. First things first.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Holy shit, this narrator is so amazing. This guy is... The voice, it purrs like a cat. Kim, how do I turn on the headlights? Come on, tell me.
Alright, ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
Alright, he turns the preheater on, waits, takes out his keys and says...
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage.
Empathy, getting to work, holy shit. Press engine start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Kinema comes to life with a whiny growl.
Can't say I like that growl, but alright. Press the button labeled
The
headlights.
lights unfold with a little
Ooh.
click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
What is that? I mean, it says Capri Kinema, but this is like one of the symbols, right? Yo, it's empathy. Alright, that is from the last thing we had, right? Alright. Continue.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Alright, thank you, Kim. Actually, I wanted to, just for a second, damaged ledger. Yeah, the cup that we fished out of the thing. We have a pen, which we picked up, yeah, alright. And we got some tools. That is all we have in our inventory. Okay, cool. So I wanted to remind myself what the inventory was
As you
doing.
hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
Alright.
There she is. Revachol West.
Revachol West. There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. I heard that.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Alright. Micro perforations. Alright. We're looking at the street grid first.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kinema's headlights.
Wait, look around.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
He smells the air and says, "Where are we on this?"
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. Seems like a shithole. I'm sure I've seen worse. I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
Alright, good to know, good to know. You get little glimpses, right, of like what's out there in the world. I love that about storytelling, right? Like these little sprinkles, and it makes the world feel so alive.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Okay, we do have perforations in 3 separate rows. Tally up the different rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
18, alright.
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
So hard to kind of imagine these perforations, but yeah. Count them individually.
You count 216 perforations.
Took a long
Considering
time.
that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
Ooh, it's got something to do with us specifically. Okay.
The last row has 3 perforations.
3. Okay, a very low number, so it needs to be something that is... That's not happening too often, right? There's some instances of something that's like being marked down here, right? Since it's in relation to us. 3 perforations. A rank, maybe? In like within the RCM?
That's it.
Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean? Point to the dots on the watermark.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should
Right.
have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
So that is not something everybody has to do or does. Interesting.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
Oh, okay. Good to know, good to know. Alright, gotta keep your competitive score.
The first row represents your years of service.
Oh,
18 years.
18. Wow, that's a lot.
Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years I've done this? I find it very interesting, right? We have so many options to be saying things, and sometimes we say something and like it goes to the next dialogue option. We don't get the same options again. I would like to think that sometimes some of these lines, I'm not saying them, but I'm thinking them inside of my mind. Got drunk like a megastar? I've walked the land telling horse and lies of the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining. No, we are not a religious sellout. I'm sorry. Probably a fun playthrough, but you know. Probably probably some boring office job, same as everybody else. I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time. No, that's not us, right? We didn't apologize. What do we have to apologize for? People should apologize. No, we're not that arrogant, but I think like it feels like we weren't the kind of person who would go around apologizing to people. Do you really think we have any idea? Do you really think I have any idea? But that would be the kind of the right answer. But I think the most interesting one for me is right. Wait, 18 years I've done this.
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Got drunk like a megastar? I don't know. I mean, that's probably the same.
Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we?
Interesting. See, again, little tidbits.
This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see...
216 closed cases. That is a lot.
Wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact. Nah, we're not gonna go and be like... Exactly 206? No. Is that a lot? Because we don't have any idea. It feels like a lot, but I don't know.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades.
Okay.
Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
Wow, okay. And 10 a year would be 180 for us. So 216 is quite a lot more than that. We're super cop indeed. Alright, so you're saying I used to be a super cop? I didn't even read that. I swear I didn't read it. I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number? I don't think I can ever re-become this person. No, we're not that negative, right? We're a little bit depressed, but we're not that negative, right? We just came out of like that complete crash that kind of put us back on kind of like a neutral level, slightly depressed maybe, but we're close to the baselines, right? So you're saying I used to be super cop, right? We overplay that. We'll like...
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row.
Just get fucking ignored, holy shit. Alright, Kim, touche.
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
Something that doesn't happen too often. Well, it can happen often, but apparently we are not a crazy guy who's shooting people. So I'm a killer? I wouldn't think that, right? We're a cop, so there's the assumption, like the implicit assumption that maybe we've shot somebody before. That's not too many.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, right? There's probably a lot of people who are kind of really proud about certain numbers, even numbers like these, and kind of feel a false sense of pride into having done that, having a kill count or whatever. It's great to know that Kim is not one of those people.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
Yeah, it's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. Me neither, Kim, me neither. I think if it's necessary, yes, I understand it. But every kill is one too many, right? Who are we to decide what happens to another person's life? If you have to defend yourself, if it's you get killed or somebody else, yeah, I get that, right? Especially if it's your job to protect people in general.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
How do you handle a strain, right? Have you ever killed anyone? That is like a very direct question. We could be asking, how do you handle a strain, right? Because it's like an indirect question. It's like, have you ever killed one? How do you deal with that? At least that's how I see it.
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others.
It gives you a meaningful look. Yeah. Drinking, right? Maybe we are like, maybe one of those kills was something that stuck deep within us, and now we're like, right? Or maybe it's something completely different, right? We haven't killed a lot of people, so.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
He points at your yellow gardening glove. No, please. I don't want to do gardening, alright? I don't want to be even more German than I already am, okay?
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Alright. I didn't take it as a jab. I took it as like a shoot into the dark. Shot into the dark. Sorry. Have you ever killed anyone? I mean, he implicitly said that, but let's ask it anyway, right? Because we're inquisitive.
Yes.
He says, declining to elaborate. Okay, that's
It's
fine.
not a problem for him to state it, however.
Yeah, he's like, that's kind of his characteristics, right? His personality, the way he got brought up. That's how I feel. He got brought up not boasting about it, not talking about it too much. This is something you don't talk about with somebody you've just met like a day on the same day, even if they're from another police force and whatever. You don't know this person yet, right? So maybe after a little bit of bonding time, he will open up about something. If some of his cases or kills do concern him. Thank you for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's it. Let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
Alright. Name unknown, rank unknown. Why is our name and rank not on there? Superstar Cop 3. Apocalypse Cop 1. Sorry Cop 4. Boring Cop 0. Communist 2. Fascist 1. What the fuck are these statistics? This is like our thoughts going through us. Good Cop, Bad Cop 3. Moralist 1. People killed 3. Cases of 216. And this is our 217. Years in service, 18 years. A long time. 84 years. Oh, we still have a thought. Cool. Yeah, we wanted to find out where we are, but we don't have any other thoughts. Okay. Alright.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
No, we ask all of these things, right? And we're going inside. We're talking to guard again. We're gonna annoy our favorite cafeteria manager. Ooh, and we're open. Right, that's cool. We can do that in a second.
Can I help you?
Like, you need to drink. Can you? No, okay, look, we can do that later. Here's your trash container.
Thanks.
Key.
I hope you found what you were looking for.
I found the victim's clothes, actually.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Well, first of all, I know you don't mean it like that, guard, but you're saying it very weirdly. Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state. What is a fugue state? What the fuck? Could someone on yourself have put them there? Who else has the keys to it? Okay, put someone on your stuff. Have put them there.
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my stuff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has keys to the trash
The
containers?
trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Yeah, I mean, me neither.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road.
If you say so, Kim.
Thank you anyway.
Alright, Nah, let's talk about
Yes?
something else. Guard, I saw another thing at the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Oh no. Oh, we already had that. No,
Yes.
no, okay. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. I'm actually gonna move in here. It may take a while. Good to know. Thank you, Journal. What is the right... Is it... Oh, tab. Okay, cool. The dishes are drying. They smell of chemicals and pine trees. What's that? Thank you. Free money. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air. Can we just appreciate the amazing music of this fucking game? Alright. So we can't turn around, and I don't see anything here aside from that door, so we talk to that guy.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook.
Gorassi Quebec. Okay, Gorassi.
As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Goransi and Quebec.
Goransi Quebec.
Okay, it's definitely not his name.
And we named him that.
Please don't call him Goransi Quebec. Please. It's not funny.
Mr. Quebec, I'm here in official police business.
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
You got some impressive pots here.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
So he understands.
It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
Nothing better than music while you're cooking or washing up in a restaurant. Alright, so we're not asking him anything. Cool, good to know.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
What is a dimple lock?
You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
Okay, I wonder where this door leads.
You do?
The
It's a door
lieutenant-
in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
The lieutenant regards you with patient skepticism. Kim, every new door you open is a door to new opportunities. A year of little faith. I'm drawn to its cobalt blue. It's part of the Whirling and Rags. There's something about this place that makes me want to know. Out of duty, we may find something pertinent to the investigation. You're right, it's not important. I'm drawn to its cobalt blue.
It is quite pretty. I suppose we could look into it as a side investigation.
Oh, yes,
It's
we need
hardly
to.
a side investigation. You already have a name for it.
No, the door is a mega investigation. I'm calling it Behind the Blue Door. The door and the main investigation will merge into a stereo. Oh, conceptualization, I love you.
If you say so, Gart
looks-
is the person to ask about this.
He
The
looks at the
cafeteria
door,
manager.
then you. Right, sorry about talking over.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side.
Alright.
Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe.
Ooh, okay.
It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older. The door does not budge.
Yeah, I thought so. Let's talk to Guard for a second. Ask him about the door. Guard,
Can
there's
I
a door.
help you? Another thing. Great.
There's
I
a
love
mysterious
those.
blue steel door in the back of the kitchen.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Do you know what's behind it? Do you have?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a Frittte warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust.
He runs his fingers across the counter to check for dirt.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Bro's curious as well. Let's get him in on it. I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage.
He shrugs.
So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that. Yes?
Alright, Guard. We're gonna find your key, or we're gonna get in there somehow. Believe you me. Okay, so the union workers are not on yet, I think, right? I'm not reading any sign, but there's like no way for us to go there, right? Nah, alright. Alright, later do so. Oh, new guy. Haven't seen you before. Talk to you. It's all about money, you know? Alright, you know what? Forget I asked. You still sleeping, buddy?
The worker is in a deep slumber. A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes your fingers itch.
Ooh. Inspect a piece of plastic on his carabiner.
It's a dockworker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John.
Wake him up. I could try it, right? I'm gonna try and steal the card first.
You fumble with the spring-loaded gate
Damn.
of the carabiner, but to no avail. The dangling items refuse to come loose. They just jingle in an ever louder manner.
We're not good enough.
Stop finger-fucking him, officer! I'm responsible for these oafs and their stuff! Even Sleepy there!
What? No, I wasn't. Just checking if the man is feeling okay. You stay out of this, bartender. He might be dealing with a criminal here. Let me work.
Yeah, sure. I don't care. Just don't finger-bang his stuff, okay?
He snorts angrily, then turns back to his
To
activities.
be honest, he's correct. Police officers generally don't go around appropriating possessions from people. Let's go.
Alright, Kim, you got me.
It was just an idea. Come on, relax everyone. It didn't turn out well. Doesn't mean it was a bad idea. Or that you shouldn't appropriate stuff.
I think we have a problem.
The worker continues to nap, undisturbed despite you shaking him. This guy's a real juggernaut of sleep.
Honestly, we probably could have ripped it off and he wouldn't wake up. Alright, Actually, we need to check the body, right? Did we check the body? I don't even know. I think... Let's just ignore Kuno here. What the fuck is that? Oh. Are you serious? What's that? Magnesium. Cool. Health item. Nice. This winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years. And what was it? I think we tried to open this, right?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Or maybe we didn't. Okay. Okay, cool.
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
I think I might be remembering from the first
Glad
time I
you
played
asked.
this.
When junior researcher Olari Tal invented Eternite in the Vartna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, Eternite.
Because eternal,
Sadly,
right?
the only lasting thing turned out to be the material's highly carcinogenic effect.
Relatable. Relatable. Why am I looking at this pile of roofing material?
Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets, easy on the eyes.
Totally you couldn't shift that or something, right?
Rhythmic pattern calms your mind. Mammals like this stuff.
They do. A lot of YouTube is busy with providing videos of that sort.
No, there's more to this. You get this strange feeling.
What feeling?
Hard to say. It's gone now. Feelings pass, you see. Especially the small ones.
Screw you, sir. Can we get in there? No. This is like the thing that's connected to that, right? Okay. Alright, okay. Cool. That's the greenhouse. Someone is trying to grow herbs. Right. That... I think it was the lady with the gardener, right? This kid's ladder is rickety, but it's climbable. Alright, let's talk to this guy.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth.
It's swollen.
You seem to be holding your breath.
Look
The
down.
cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below
Okay.
appears
That's why it's
stiff.
yellow.
It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
God, why is it so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
Oh yeah, I got some med student friends who actually talked about that. Some people are okay with it and others are just like... I mean, sometimes it's also like some days you go into work apparently and it you don't mind it all that much, and another time it's like absolutely horrible.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
We are going to endure.
The
No,
smell
we're not.
is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected, more fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Try to walk away. Ooh. Oof. That is rough.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
Fucking corpse.
Keep it.
The lieutenant hands you a blue checkered handkerchief. Thanks. Wipe your mouth.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
Alright. Think ammonia would help?
If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
But not you.
I can't handle the headache.
But you also... I think you mean that you're actually okay with the corpse because you haven't been throwing up yet. Okay, where do we get ammonia from?
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell.
Oh, yeah.
If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the Frittte store nearby.
Okay, good to know, good to know. I don't want to buy it, so maybe we ask her. Sorry about that.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Oh, cool. So not just leveling up can help, but also certain things. Okay. I got the handkerchief. I'm not gonna sell it, don't worry. Alright, get ammonia, and find a way into the secret passage. Of course, of course. We found everything in there, right? Alright. Let's talk to the gardener and maybe take a walk, right? Do something else for a bit.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
You still have your salts? I think I could use some.
Sure. I'm done with them.
She takes a small capsule out of her breast pocket and hands it to you.
Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
Yeah, smelling salts are not great. Have to run. Not very healthy either. So, I'm gonna do a quick save. Alright. Actually, exploration time, dude. Exploration time.
Hello again, my man. What's on
Oh
your
yeah,
mind?
we talked to you. We've talked to you, okay. We have better empathy, but I don't want to retry the check yet. Maybe once we have like some equipment or something. What's that? What's from the lorry haphazardly littered surroundings? Alright.
Welcome to Rivachol.
The remark isn't addressed to you, it's addressed to the lieutenant. Hey, I know Revachol, that's where we are. Why are you dressing my partner like that?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago.
Wait, your grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture. So you are the racist isolation. It sounds like that. I mean, okay. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe he had to endure a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture and fled to Revachol to get freedom, right? Because people were forward thinkers. That's also possible.
Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Alright, we see what is happening here. You tell him, Kim.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Yeah, why do we focus our time so much on trying to divide each other? Trying to divide our society, right? It's unfortunate, right? This tendency of people, and it's a very human tendency, right? To put things into categories, right? To put them into drawers. So the world is easier to understand for us, but in the process we often lose something that's important, right? We lose what connects us all, because there's a hell of a lot more stuff that connects us as people than there is that divides us. Like, it's saying a lot that, for example, if you look at actual science, you can find out that genetically the differences within a group, within an ethnicity, or even within a nation are a lot bigger genetically than they are between any random individual or the average representation of the specific ethnicity, right? So we have a lot more in common, all of us, than we do have differences. And I think that is very important to keep in mind.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Right? Because you are defined by the nation, confined almost, right? Stop ripping into this, it's just really part of being Revachol. So we are in a limbo. Yes, we are. We are in a limbo. He's right. You're undermining our best shot at real self-determination. I mean, we just got that from rhetoric, so we're gonna say it. But what we're thinking is, so we are in a limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
Stop fucking finding excuses, dude.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Kim got fucking triggered. Holy shit.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Fucking A, Kim, I've got your back. Give the lieutenant a punch on the shoulder. But I think we all learned something here. Smile at the lorryman. Now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions. Fucking A, Kim, I got your back.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
Ooh.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Well, now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
Waits impassively, cigarette smoldering between his fingers. I found this mug in the trash. Oh, to the manures. Holy shit! I mean, he wouldn't be able to. I mean, maybe yes. There's an actual straw on there, right?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. I haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
All right. I mean, okay. It amuses you. Is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
Ugh, I see, Frenchman. Wait, how long has it been going on then? What kind of cargo are you supposed to pick up? He seems shady,
Apples?
doesn't he? Apples?
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Sounds like a cover story
Look,
to me.
as detective, I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges.
He loses his patience for explaining it. Right. Prodding and poking. Maybe he's gonna lose his temper.
Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular Koiko picked apples.
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think.
Alright, so we have a person who just shits on everybody. Okay. Okay. Except himself, of course. Because he's like the epitome of this is what peak male performance looks like. Oh, so they grow apples in Grad? Yeah, alright. I wasn't really that interested in your cargo anyway.
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow them down South Yekokata. A beautiful place. Got great scenic vistas.
I'm sure.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
I keep saying Koikos. What does it actually mean? Actually, I'm not that interested in your cargo. Yekokata is not the south, and they definitely don't grow apples there.
Yeah? Says who?
Literally in the name, Zone of Ecological
Then,
Catastrophe.
I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
Fucking immigrants! Yeah, okay, alright. I see who I'm talking to. Kim had you pegged right. You keep saying Koikos. What does it actually mean?
He means the people living in Grad.
Right. I mean, we knew that, but...
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk, those degenerates from Grad.
Okay, but why the word?
'Cause that's what they're all called. Koiko Pichik, Loslav Koiko, Koikovic someone.
Oh, okay, because of the
Low
names.
self-esteem those guys have. Mind you, they look Occidental, but they're not really like us.
No, not like us. Not the superior intellect of an individual such as you.
Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise?
So, can I see the apples?
Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them, huh?
Looks at you with a strange glint in his eye.
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling.
Okay.
Even if it is something unsavory. So
Yeah,
he'd
okay.
remain unaccountable.
You said something about the rights and privileges of lorrymen?
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license and everything. We've tried to hold on to our privileges.
False pride in inheriting something? Cool. Hold on, what's a carter? And that's a privilege?
Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient.
Ah,
Very
yes.
prestigious.
Very prestigious indeed. So it's a kind of union?
Hell no. It's a guild. Invitation only. Unions work for the rich fucks. They're basically the same. Been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit, but you can't replace experience.
The experience of inheriting something?
Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice ain't no laughing matter.
Alright, we're done for now. Look at this fool. Jump Jams. A popular musique mag. Okay. The glossy magazine, most able-bodied man. This issue hosts the top 10 list. Okay. We got the trash. Oh. Right, cool. Another magnesium one. Oh, what? There was something. Frittte. Alright. Wait, what does that sick thing mean again in parentheses? Yellow roses, dozens of them. Tulips too. Right? It's spring, yeah, okay. Like early spring. A melancholy pop song plays on the radio.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Frittte slogan on the back. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
Could we steal? Could we steal? No, we couldn't. What's that? Point to the raincoat.
What is what?
The girl leans over the counter and
it's
sees
a
what you're referring
raincoat.
to.
If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
Unfortunately, I have 135. Take it or leave it. She taps on the glass counter. The raincoats patiently.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult.
I love this. Our chance changes. We have a -1 because we ask what that is, and now the ring. Holy shit, that's cool. That's so cool. Like from a game design standpoint, that is amazing.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
The rest of the world doesn't know that. As a German, I obviously know what that is.
Oh, that's the tear machine.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money.
I see, and how do I pick up tear for this
You
tear
need
machine?
a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so...
You don't have any more? You don't get any more?
Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there. Somewhere.
Somewhere. Alright.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Saint Baptiste.
Their logo
Alright.
is the bloodless rose, pure white, untouched by harm.
Alright.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
It's Saint Baptiste, please, okay? And thank you very much. What do these products do? I hate to ask that because it's like super stupid, but okay.
I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising.
right. Can you be a little more specific?
No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
What a surprise.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Dramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
Right, so antipsychotics or something. Antidepressants, I don't know, man. Who is Saint-Baptiste?
Saint Baptiste. You know, the pharmaceuticals company. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. There.
Please stop saying Saint Baptiste. Please stop it. I mean, I hate French, but still.
She is right. Saint-Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint-Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history. As far as almost anyone knows, at least.
Oh, okay. Do we have any ammonia? Oh, we do have ammonia. We have Nosafed, which could be important, but I'm not sure. We got the magnesium stuff. I guess we can get a Nosafed.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Stop saying Saint Baptiste. Do you have any ammonia?
Yeah, there's like an ampule somewhere.
You raise her hand in the air absent-mindedly. Yeah. Oh, wait. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? What's that?
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer.
I'm in heaven. I need it all so bad. That's what I'm thinking. Say nothing, just take it in. This is not a good place for a recovering addict. Indeed it isn't.
Guess not, no.
Looks at a wall of goods behind her, then adjusts her head.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
Boy, do I know. Do you sell under-the-counter vices?
No, Frittte only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
Alright, please tell me more about these products.
The pale age vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong.
Thankfully, I'm not Russian. What is pale?
You know.
She shrugs, uninterested in explaining it further. Okay, what will consuming this stuff do to my body? We're gonna ask anyway, even if we know.
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
She stares at you, unsure.
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the
cool.
cost of damage to your health or morale. Cigarettes raise your intellect while damaging your health. Alcohol raises physique while damaging your morale.
You know that it also damages your health. Alcohol. Probably way quicker than cigarettes, but you know.
Use medication, like Nosafed and magnesium, to counteract the negative effects of substances. Note: consuming substances can have unforeseen consequences for you.
I do wonder what these unforeseen consequences are. Very interesting. But yeah, this is a very interesting idea, right? Because we do it every day. If you think about it, we're like, all right, shit, I have a hangover from like drinking too much alcohol yesterday. Let me just, like, I have a headache. Let me just pop in a painkiller. Hello? I'm sorry, what? Live with the consequences of your actions, okay? Just fucking endure it. You were the one who drank this much alcohol. Shut up and endure it. It's so beyond like the comical stuff. It's so counterintuitive to actually go in and be like, oh yes, let me just fucking poison myself with something, and then when I feel bad because of it, let me poison myself, or let me kind of just eliminate the fact that my body is signaling me, hey, this is not that great for me. But yeah.
Welcome to Frittte. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's
Alright.
that magazine she's reading?
Before you go on, what is this Frittte?
I don't know. Frittte?
She shrugs. Why is it written with 3 T's?
I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
She chews on her gum with disgust.
The story goes that normal Frittte, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Frittte Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to avoid trademark infringement.
That is ridiculous. What magazine are you reading?
You mean this?
She looks at the cover boasting a colorful photo of 2 girls kissing.
This is Pop Stars. It's got like famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Right. So it's like a, I don't know what the equivalent would be. I don't read those magazines.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
Ooh, okay. I approve of this very futuristic. Tap on the girl's. Holy shit. Can you name a more boomer sentence? Forget about all that. Forget about all that. What this is Fashion Police feature? Point at the cover. What is this Fashion Police feature? Typo. Alright. Not even interested in the magazine. I don't know why I asked about it. No, forget about that. What is this Fashion Police feature?
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
She stops to think. Who's the numero uno guy in there right now, and does he look like this? Point at yourself. Point to her head. I bet your head would take the prize. It's kind of like the Frittte head, right? At least that's how it seems. So who is the most stylish in there? It can't be anyone from here.
Benita. She's a model. Usually it's a model. Or a singer-songwriter. Or a model.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Are you sure about that, Kim? Let's proceed. I have some questions for you.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
She puts down the magazine. Well, you're gonna chat with the police if you have to. Does Frittte have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frittte does.
This is important.
She scrunches up her face into an expression of consummate adolescent skepticism.
Stop being skeptics, all of you.
Fine. Frittte doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
She turns back to her magazine without waiting for you to respond. Can you tell me anything about this reality we're in? Yeah.
Reality? You mean what reality? Economic reality or...
It's really cool because you're asking a question in a very vague manner so people can interpret into that whatever they want and then just you run with it. I guess this is like... I don't know if it's a leading question, but it's definitely an interesting way to question something and kind of feel out what people are thinking about. Like, her concerns are probably, as she's just said, economic ones, right? Am I gonna be able to pay for rent this month? Stuff like that. I'm gonna glean what's at the forefront of people's mind.
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
Yes. Tell me about the economic reality. No, I meant the physical reality. No, we go with the economic because this is what she went with.
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15.
You don't... Holy shit, she's 15. She doesn't look 15. She looks like a 30-year-old. What the fuck? 15 is an excellent time to learn about economic reality. It is indeed. I wish I would have learned about economic reality sooner, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frittte. So I guess, like, that's economic.
It is, kind of. What about the physical reality?
I don't know. What about it?
Where are we?
We're in Frittte?
No, I mean, where are we?
As mankind, or as a nation, or...
What will her essay prompt be?
Ooh, as mankind, as a nation. Where in the world, What never as mankind.
In a good place.
She rubs her face, thinking, questioning if we're even in a good place.
I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kind of big. I don't know.
She shrugs and folds her magazine back. Okay, where are we?
We're in Frittte as
No.
mankind.
What will her essay prompt be?
As a nation.
We're in
She rubs her face, thinking.
We're in a transition. You know, transitioning from monarchy to democracy, all that stuff.
Interesting information. She nods and folds her magazine back. What time is it?
I don't know. Look at the clock. It's right behind you on the wall.
We play the game Ask Stupid Questions.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still. It's apparent the clock doesn't work.
Sign of the times, I guess. What is the revolution?
When ordinary people take over the government and demand democracy.
What about the one we had here in Ravishore?
Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean.
The coalition, what's that? Someone told me there's one.
Our government?
Okay, so the coalition is our government. Yeah, I mean, obviously we said that, right? The coalition of different foreign powers.
Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article.
She taps the magazine on the counter. She's trying to get out of this. I won't bother you with this nonsense anymore. I'm sorry.
Cool.
Can you tell me anything about the dead body?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
Little do you know, this all was just an intelligence questionnaire, and I was kind of just figuring out what questions I'm supposed to ask her to see, like, what level she's at. That's not how it works. Alright, did you know the man who died?
Not really.
Not really. Does it mean you knew him a little?
No. I didn't know him at all.
Okay, good. Good. Now we have that crossed off our list. How long has it been there?
I don't know. Really long?
Okay, you don't know it's been there a week. What do you think happened?
I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay.
She scratches her nose. Thank you for your help. Thank you, miss. I'm gonna leave you alone now.
Uh-huh.
Alright, after questioning somebody absolutely unrelated, but finding out some interesting things. 3 T's, how idiomatic. I don't even know what idiomatic means. Does that come from, like, idiom? Ooh. What is this music? It's like machines grinding, right? Feels industrial. Heavy. What's that? Allez, whatever that means. I don't speak French. I've had it like 3 years in school, but the lorries probably stored fuel here. Now they store booze. And are you the only person I can talk to? Ooh, money. Nice. 26 real. It says GRIH. The Greater Revisional Industrial Harbor. Okay. Cool. That was our encyclopedia. Really cool. Alright, so this is the only guy we can talk to. Let's talk to him.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot and oddly screechy for a man his size. What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
He seems very self-important. The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everybody else here. Also, full head, like a full body wider.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Yes. No, why?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Okay, then I'm thinking no.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It
All right,
helps if
Bane.
people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
So you want to break the strike, right? You want to end the strike. What cause are we talking about? I don't think I've chosen any sides yet. Regardless, I have some questions for you. What kind of cause are we talking about?
Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their families.
Alright, you're selling it to me, but...
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases.
Ooh, paid actor? I don't think I've chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
If you say so, my man. Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you!
Like, very interesting because on the surface level, what he says seems very understandable, right? It seems like you would be like, of course, what he's saying is true, right? But the question is, isn't it too simple what he's expressing here, right? Isn't he dumbing down the problem to... to a level where you would have to agree with him, right? That is a technique too, right? You use, like, when you're in an argument and you're trying to win a side, like, win people for your side, dumbing down the problem to a degree that makes your side seem more, have more appeal, your side seem more righteous or just or more right on the moral side, without, like, while leaving out parts of all of this that you do not mention, right? That if we complicated things a little bit more, the strike is happening right here, right? And they're striking for some specific reason, right? I would assume they're making some demands of their higher-ups and whatever. So the question is, while the strike is going on, what do the workers want? And why do the strike breakers now demand that they have a right to work, right? In the sense of, like, that they're like, okay, no, we want to work, we don't want to strike, right? They're against the strikers. So what are their motives here, right? Do they have trouble because they are employed and they have to kind of join in the strike despite not wanting to be part of the strike? And what do you win from, like, just dumbing it down to, we have a right to work because we need to feed our families? I mean, obviously on a surface level that's right, but the workers want that too, right? Maybe they even want to have the right to work under better conditions so they can feed their families better. So.
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
And then this is like a very emotional line of speaking, right? You're appealing to somebody's morality, you're appealing to somebody, right? You're us versus them. He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scott.
The loitering man hollers in return. What is a strike? Where are all these strike breakers? Look around. What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked.
Good to know.
The guards
For
block
later,
the
maybe.
way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Alright, what is head measurer? You consider storming in like all of you. Why don't you just talk to them? Wait, head measure?
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him.
Okay. How bad could one guy be? He seemed capable.
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained.
This guy's smart.
I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Reasonable. Why don't you just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
Do they not, right? Again, dumbing down somebody, right? Being like, they're not civilized, we're the civilized people.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
Yeah, you're making commotion, kind of.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
Man rubs his jaw. A perfect, lightly bearded square wedge. I want to get into the harbor too, could I?
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
Ooh. Is their boss fat? I mean, stereotype, but still. I'm interviewing people about the murder that took place here behind the hotel cafeteria. This is an official matter not to be discussed with outsiders.
Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Is it? I would have to see the text in law. I don't know.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity. Let us work!
I know it's a dumb question, but what is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his workers' overalls. What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
But what does the right to work help you if you're getting underpaid and mistreated?
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting? What does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while
Okay.
the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
Okay, so he's wearing a disguise, maybe? Right? He's wearing the clothes of somebody else? You're wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his.
Alright, Scab Leader. You're on my shit list now.
Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
We'll get to the bottom of this eventually. If that is a side thing or if it has anything to do with the murder. Who are all these strike breakers? Look around.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
Man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut. It's weird because he's saying like they're not toys for corporate interests, but they want to work for corporate interests, right? Without demanding anything.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
Yeah, but if like undermining the unions, it's gonna be bad for you in the long run, right?
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
Good question, Lieutenant.
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
It's all propaganda for him. It's all fucking propaganda. Okay.
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Okay, I gotta ask. Where exactly are you from?
What's it to you?
Deep-set suspicion drips from every syllable. Curious, going to figure out the strike mess. A routine part of the investigation. I thought you looked real familiar for a second there. Routine, part of the
Am I a
investigation.
suspect? Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people.
Do you?
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person. Just a hunch. Or you just might be paranoid.
We're not paranoid. I already got that. I'm interested in your background. Makes sense, I guess. Never mind.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain in Jamrock.
Jamrock is my
Backgrounds in
quarter.
Odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
This kind of sounds like you rehearsed that. A bouncer? Where I frequent a lot of bars. Maybe I just want to know. Sweet, I know bars. Been thrown out from several. Maybe that's why you seem familiar. Don't really drink, but work has taken me to some. Which one was it?
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Not right now, but I might have been there and I don't really never heard of it. Are you lying?
We're done here. I have a strike to break.
A little spark of violence gutters in his eyes, then he blinks and turns to his men. Holy shit, dude. Okay, so he's... I don't know how I could have played that differently, but, you know. Let's actually talk to this guy. I think he's a union guy, right? Scab asks a man with jolly eyes tilting his head.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
No, scab means like down below is a scab leader, so they're strike breakers. No. What exactly is a scab? We can ask it.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
Hold on, where did they come from?
It's me. Somewhere in the ground, I think.
He's very condescending. You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
Economy. He looks at the mask, squinting his eyes as if trying to ascertain what they're scared
Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Have you tried talking to them?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Alright, there's one person who's riling them up.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
Not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab.
You didn't know I was a cop. Alright, very interesting.
Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money."
He chuckles, then realizes.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the wild north? Come to see the strife?
Need to know what's... I'm a bit short on money right now. Can you give me some? What's the strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss would be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
Okay, the big boss.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Okay, so we can meet up with the union boss, maybe. That's a stupid question. I need to know what's behind the gates. I'm exploring.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits.
Gazes over to the roundabout with a glint of longing. Does this mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
You're more a talker of words, are you?
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards blocking the way?
That's simple. Just walk in.
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Head measurer. Measurehead.
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there.
2.5.
Walk right past him.
Right.
Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again.
Alright.
And you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
It's easy. They're saying it's actually quite difficult. Oh, gotcha. I think I have some questions for you first.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
I've come to Martinez investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Are you implying you're not working hard? I have no idea what you're right. It's almost impossible. I'm 91% sure I'll never get solved. It's actually very fun and easy. Maybe you want to help me solve it, but tell me who did it?
Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
Of course. I'll note that down. Thank you very much.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
Alright, thank you, drama. Nice. Gotta get moving. Alright, let me see. Is there something interesting here? There's a roof, actually. Can I get on there? No. It's not. In case of strike, press button behind guard. Okay, cool. A magically sealed door locked by electronic means. There's no lock picking or door picking this one. Okay. Can I get up here? I need to get up here somehow. Ooh, maybe I can actually... Wait. Oh yes, if I find a way in there, I can actually... I mean, I could hop over there. Holy shit, come on. But yeah, if I can get into that house, I can actually get up there. The measurehead crushes all. Okay. Powerful, huh? I don't know if he's the law. I'm the law.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Does it, my friend?
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Young woman at the giant side agrees. Okay. Say nothing. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A couple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me.
Yet. How about you just still say nothing?
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
It sounded you taking stock of your physique.
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise.
Damn, I thought we could bluff our way through this.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend.
Oh. He just said Kim looks like a child, right?
This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Martinez is a battlefield, huh?
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
My body's important and I'm with the police. I need to get into the... If I say that to him, he's like, no, your body is important.
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust as if he was smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, Ogul? Kim, is it really that bad? You're right, I'm an alcoholic. Now I need to enter the harbor. Don't have a problem with all gold. Just drink a little of it.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al-Ghul. You are but a vessel for the Ghul now. Very little of yourself remains.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the I'm Sandwich race is waning.
Alright, bro.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Ooh. They're in cahoots? First, let me make this clear. I'm not a drunk. I'm a cop. I just have to drink every now and then. Everyone does. No, not everyone. Fat racist over there. Pointed racist lorry man. You're just him after pumping some. Ooh. I'm a police and I'm the police and that could provoke him though. Maybe he's gonna blabber when he gets provoked. I mean, he could get physical, but I don't know if he would. I don't think justifying ourselves will help here.
Look at my chronology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race.
So by what does he determine race is the pinnacle?
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and
think
powerful
the first one is a good
weapons
thing.
of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft.
So basically Germans.
You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos.
We heard about
Now
those.
your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture.
So you're saying we're not the dominant group anymore.
You will be superseded. Isn't that right?
But by who or what?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
I can't push him out of the way, probably. You're right about all this. Now I just need you to let me go into the harbor. Come on, I just need you to move about 20 centimeters back. I know this is not gonna work, but we're just gonna
It is
try.
my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor.
You're right about all this. Now I just need you to let me into the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war.
Bit on the nose, isn't it?
Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you.
That's cute.
The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
Alright, let's not get into, like, scientific skull measuring, okay?
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshahed's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
Wouldn't that mean I have to become a Seminese supremacist myself?
Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure,
okay,
or accept them and become an advanced racist.
You serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they... right?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
Turns his eyes towards the harbor, seemingly bored with you. Yeah, but you still serve them. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did.
I didn't know we were, like, specifically communistic, but interesting.
Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Interesting, to serve is noble, so in his theory, if you would be kind of just taking your place as a servant, it would maybe put like his estimation of you up. Individualism is my jam.
Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs?
Youth culture does not affect my thinking.
Of course it does. You are a degenerate individualist and a rock and roll rebel. A pawn of international finance, just like the rest of your ham-colored race.
Pawn of international finance. Okay.
I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Semines race.
Alright, you think this was you already have a cultural victory. Alright, I'll ask, who are the Semines?
The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you.
So, basically, we were here first.
We are the future. That is all you need to know.
So you were born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol?
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Semines women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't compute that. So you did not come from the islands?
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
So you're not really Semines, you're just from Revachol.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Semines strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world.
Mm-hmm.
You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor.
And what do you think about
I
this?
think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be
That will be your lucky race. How do you know why is he lucky? How do you know there will be a next race? I like the previous races better, actually.
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Indeed.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding occiput and an indented zygomatic bone.
I didn't understand that, and I didn't want to.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind.
Mm-hmm. What are your tattoos? What are these tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Just was the lorry man down the street.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions.
Pseudo-scientific is the word.
It is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
Are we gonna beat him with his own things? Are you sure? I mean, the jaw is clear in atavistic stigmata. Your earlobes are too big. You sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you? You're right, that's craniometric perfection. My race does not stand a chance. Right, are you sure? I mean, your jaw is clearly in atavistic stigmata.
That atavistic stigmata makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
The tattoos on his stone face briefly form a smile. Right, Oh, actually,
I am.
The drawings are precise and look true to
The
their
earlobes are big.
pseudo-scientific.
The size of the earlobes is not a real craniometric criteria. Everyone knows this.
Yes. It's not real if it doesn't serve your purpose,
Your
is it?
earlobes are flawless, Jean-Luc.
Yes.
You sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you? That's kind of stupid.
That
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
We get a +1 for bested him in craniometrics. Alright, you know what? We're conceptualizing this just as an experiment, okay? We have to get deep in. Oh yeah, but I wanted to know what he says to the mug because, like, the different reactions are very interesting. He's a lunatic, clearly, right? He's, like, dogmatic in his views.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Know anything about it?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
He had nothing to do with it.
Good to know. Alright.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Measurehead, I'm new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races are there.
Do you?
Lieutenant looks at you. Whisper, this is for the thing.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you. He lets out an audible sigh.
I'm sorry, Kim. I know you don't want to hear this.
You are obviously a liberal, Sayolite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races.
Of course.
And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Type. Let's start with the one where I'm like, what? Cauldron of pederasty?
I knew you would go straight for the vile cauldron. Everyone does. You need to first learn about type A and B to appreciate the depravity of the chimeric races.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it just won't make any sense.
Shut up, Felicia.
Yes, it would seem nonsensical.
Alright, type A, give it to me.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals.
Ooh, okay.
Excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile.
Okay.
They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of
yes, of course, naturally.
A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Frittte, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
Wait, who exactly are the Maun?
You know them by the names of their nation states. The
Ooh,
Oranese,
I've heard that, right?
the Gotwaldians,
The lady.
and the Königsteiners.
Königstein.
My people simply call them Maun.
Probably derogatory.
Mahun is a derogative term for first world people of Gotvoldian descent.
Okay.
They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant.
The wooden clocks, though?
In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also been seen on hats.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Ah, yes, okay.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
Okay, got it. Who are type A then, in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea,
A long heritage,
the
of course.
Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have type A race propensities.
Okay.
The other large mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True,
Okay. Too
they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem.
He draws his finger across his face.
Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food.
Okay.
Which in turn only produces more sebum.
I don't even know what sebum is supposed to be. And who are the Seminese and Areopagites in
As
this?
proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagites are on the ascent.
And the Seminese are?
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands.
Okay, he just was across the
I am
ocean.
Seminese, from the stock of Ulumbuir on Ile de Fantôme.
You're not. We actually parsed that out, but okay. And Areopagites?
The Areopagites are the master race of the Ile Maran deserts.
I heard that.
Seminese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ile Maran to Ansulan.
Probably slaughtering.
Thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Maun Reden Occidentals discovered this place.
What's the difference between Seminese and Areopagites?
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed.
Okay.
The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their
They're not advanced enough. He falls silent, contemplating the beauty and the mystery.
The latter is perfected in adapting.
Of course.
Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more type A races in the world.
Okay.
Nature was not capable of more.
Of course. Type B?
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored people.
No, of course.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white officer.
Ooh, okay.
In a suspect description.
So basically, basic in his mind. You said Khoikos. I've been trained to identify them as white in official descriptions.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich.
Like he called us.
Look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Alrul and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb, and for eating potato.
I find it very interesting that his companions are all smoking.
The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
You don't like ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. From Holy Semenine to the Boreal Plateau of Katla.
We learned so many fucking terms and locations.
Of the Semenese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature, not the base inner spoilage called demos.
I haven't seen any sources yet, dude. I haven't seen any sources. Just everyone knows that, and trust me, bro.
Revacholians, halfway between Type A and the racial called Ron. Two makes to know right from wrong.
Ooh, okay.
You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
Okay. I've heard about this revolution, mystics, but the revolution was perpetrated by general left-wing laws. I'm pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive Chespias.
You know you didn't answer my question or contradict what I was just saying. Heard about this revolution. Mistakes were made, but it was the right stuff. You're wrong about it. Revolution was perpetrated by degenerate left-wing marauders, not all people. Go away, stupid political thoughts. What was this revolution?
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness. A prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia.
Prion diseases are a real thing, by the way. This is the dangerous thing about ideologies, right? And about stuff like that sounds scientifical and logical on the surface level. There's sprinkled facts in there, right? There's little sprinkled things in there that are actually maybe even scientifically, maybe even objectively true, although there's no real objectivity in terms of like humanity, right? We're all subjective. The problem is these little sprinkles in there give credibility to something that is otherwise just a lot of assumptions and just wild theories that have no base. Right? Prion diseases are a real thing, and yes, they leave. Like, they're very scary, and we can't treat them, and it's like just a weird protein that is bent the wrong way, and suddenly. Like, this is a lot in, I think this is a lot in beef, right? Not beef, but cows and oxen and whatnot. And it literally is like a protein that is bent the wrong way, and suddenly all the other proteins start bending the wrong way and are unusable, which is like a degenerative disease. I think at least that's what I've like. I'm not an expert. I just know that from somebody I know mentioning it at some point in time, and I was like, "Hey, wait, that is a thing." And then I googled it and I just looked around, and it's actually a thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is scary as fuck. It's just a weird, like, weirdly shaped protein, and if like that protein gets somewhere, then suddenly like all the other proteins start shaping themselves in that way, and suddenly they're unusable within our body. And our body, in many ways, our body has to work with proteins, right? Protein synthesis. With like our muscles consist of protein. A lot of the matter that us ourselves and our brain matter consists of is proteins. So it's very scary that there's a thing that can just flip that and make it unusable, and right, like he says, leaves holes within the brain, for example, the frontal lobe and whatnot. But yeah, that is like the little part that is true, that has like some credibility, right? There's this thing, and he just kind of wraps that up in a sandwich of words that are perpetuating his worldview, and why conveniently his own race is above all the others.
The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary condition passed from the Khoico to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant.
Right. The potato acid is making the frogs gay. No, but seriously, this is how it sounds to me, right? Like, I mean, he says it's like a mental illness, basically, that somebody had the idea of like this revolution and whatnot. And these people have neurodegenerative diseases, and that's why they got these ideas, right? It's like using science to like scientific facts to try to explain something that is inherently unscientific.
Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
You're not satisfied with the outcome. Okay, the vile CF race cauldron. Please. Lay it on me. I've already got enough, but we're gonna finish this.
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Chimeric experiments?
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Seminese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Seminese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring.
Where's the fucking proof for that?
The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
Completely kind of parallel to real-life stereotypes here.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Maybe I misunderstood something, but aren't humans too similar to produce genetically sterile offspring?
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic education.
Oh, so it's my fault.
Then there is the Seminokoiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Seminokoiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Yes.
The Khoico, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man.
Okay.
Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Seminese with the Khoico to produce a super worker of Seminese strength and grad servility.
Yeah, the idea that characteristics and personality, right, are inherent to certain ethnicities.
This will never happen. The Seminese and the Khoico may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Seminese man could maintain an erection in the suffocating potato stench of a Khoico woman or Khoica.
Holy shit. This is where the racism really comes out, right?
But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type CF. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
Know that we've been through all the types to understand advanced race.
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Will you let me into the harbor if I do?
We will see.
Ooh, that's not enough.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way in, without becoming a race theoretician.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
Gib is worried for us to become a racist. How do I word the mystery? Except, on second thought, I don't have time to get any deeper into this. Ooh. Like, do I accept the theory? Or do I not? Because this doesn't seem like reject, right? We're not rejecting it. It's like, Alright, you know what? Since I don't know, I'm gonna save. Can we not? Oh no. Okay. Okay, let's go back for a second. Okay, we're in now.
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
Alright. Let's discuss something else.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
Is this a white check? I can try it.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk.
Ooh, alright.
Say it.
Bad idea.
I am a degenerate alcoholic.
I'm a cop. Nah, it's fine.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your brain as he's twisting it more and more.
The words to the song have changed. Say, I am a violent drunk.
We still have one Nosifrim. I want to play this to the end. If we lose, we lose, okay? No, I won't fucking say anything.
Your hand twists in his grip and the pain blinds you. Still you press the words out of your swollen mouth.
Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
Alright. We tried. We fucking tried, okay?
Lonesome. Long way home.
Ooh, a thought. Okay.
Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead, to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then, past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there.
Ooh,
those
okay.
times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
The workaholic, right? Lost family. Alright, bonuses from the thought. Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Woo! Is that like permanent, or is it like only when I have the thought equipped? Speed gives 1 psi. Okay. So we can forget it with a skill point. Okay. I do wonder if this is like a locked-in thoughts kind of deal. Alright, temporary research children's -1 trauma fooled by the absurdity. A massive, fantastic razor swirls in your head. Desert pygmies playing with their own excrement, Quakers juggling potatoes, eczema-ridden moms grinning and dancing on wooden clocks. Everyone is there, the whole race gang. Plus some that you may have come up with yourself. The thieving sub-kips and the Seolite cast of fortunates hatching some kind of scheme. In the eye of this race imperial vertigo reaching up to the heavens, you sense something, drawing nearer, nearer. Alright, we're gonna try and internalize that. How long does it take? 1 hour 40? That's cool. 1 hour 40 to to become racist. Let's do it. Okay, right, we're gonna do that, right? To figure out Measurehead, to figure out where he's coming from. Maybe we can help with that. Alright, I think it's been enough. It's been 2 hours 24 for this episode. We have met various kinds of racists, and we've explored a little bit of the area. We haven't been able to look at the body yet because we kind of couldn't stand the stench. But we're fine with it. And Kim seems to be wanting to talk to us, so maybe we have like a talking to, right? So here's what we're gonna do. We don't have any money to our name, so priority next time will be talking to Kim, going back and looking at the body and exploring the rest of the area. Hopefully we can get, like, before the end of the day, we can get some money to actually pay. Because as far as I know, we still owe guard something. I don't know how else we're gonna be able to, I don't know, survive. I mean, we'll figure something out, but still, this is gonna be one of our priorities right now. Yeah, what I have to say to that? Let me end this to saying this game is just fucking enormous. It's insane how much you can actually do with a game like this. Really, really enormous. And yeah, I mean, I knew that coming in, right? I knew that from the get-go. So there's not really a lot to say about that, but yeah, that was Disco Elysium, episode 3. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's more coming. I definitely want to continue playing, and it's always a lot of fun doing it. Check out my other stuff. Monogatari is probably going to come at the end of this week. I don't know when yet exactly. Other than that, Monster and Internalizing are in full swing. And I hope I'll see you next time. You tune in for a little bit more of Disco Elysium.